Imagine you're stuck in the Arctic, surrounded by nothing but snow. The wind is howling, temperatures are dropping fast, and you need shelter, quick. For the Inuit, the solution has always been the igloo, a shelter made entirely of snow that can be built in just 2 hours. At first, it might sound impossible. How can you build something strong and warm using just snow? But the Inuit have perfected this skill over generations. The igloo isn't just a pile of snow blocks, it's a carefully designed structure that keeps the cold out and traps heat inside. Even in freezing conditions, the temperature inside can stay surprisingly warm. In this video, we'll take you through the entire process of building a real igloo, step by step. You'll see how the right kind of snow is chosen, how blocks are cut and stacked, and how the dome shape is formed. By the end, you'll understand why the igloo is one of the most brilliant survival shelters ever created. But before we start, I'm on a road to get 1,000 subscribers as a small channel. If you want to help me, hit that subscribe button and join the journey. Now, let's get started. Building an igloo might seem simple, but you need the right materials and tools to do it properly. The most important thing? The right kind of snow. Not all snow works for igloo building. It has to be hard-packed and dense, so it holds its shape when cut into blocks. This kind of snow is usually found a little below the surface, where the wind has compressed it over time. Once the right snow is found, the next tool you need is a snow knife or a saw. Traditional Inuit builders used knives made of bone or ivory, but today, people often use metal saws or machetes. These tools are used to cut large, solid blocks of snow, which will later be stacked to form the walls of the igloo. That's basically it, snow and a cutting tool. Some builders also use a shovel to clear the area or smooth out blocks, but the process is mostly done by hand. The beauty of the igloo is that it's made entirely from natural materials found right on the spot. No nails, no wood, just snow, skill, and knowledge passed down through generations. Before building an igloo, choosing the right spot is just as important as the construction itself. The wrong location can make the structure unstable or even dangerous. The best place to build an igloo is on a flat area with packed snow. The snow should be firm enough to cut into blocks, but not too icy, or it will be difficult to work with. Inuit builders often test the snow by pushing a snow knife or stick into the ground. If it holds its shape and doesn't crumble, it's good for building. Another key factor is wind direction. Building on the wrong side of a hill or in an open, windy area can make the igloo weaker or cause snowdrifts to bury the entrance. That's why experienced builders look for places where the wind naturally packs the snow into firm layers. Safety is also a concern. The igloo shouldn't be built near steep slopes where avalanches could occur. And if it's near the coast, builders make sure it's on solid ground or thick ice, not thin, unstable ice that could crack. With the right site chosen, it's time to start cutting and stacking the snow blocks. Now comes the most important part, actually building the igloo. This process might look simple, but it takes experience, careful technique, and skills that have been refined over centuries and taught from one generation to the next. The entire structure is built in a way that keeps it strong, stable, and warm inside. The first step is cutting large, solid blocks of snow. Using a snow knife or saw, the builder slices out thick, rectangular blocks from the packed snow. Each block needs to be strong enough to support the weight of the layers above it. Typically, the blocks are about 3 feet long, 2 feet wide, and 6 inches thick, but the exact size depends on the builder. The first few blocks take the most time, but once there are enough to start the base, the process moves quickly. A well-trained builder can cut 30 to 40 blocks in less than an hour. The next step is arranging the first layer of blocks in a perfect circle. This forms the base of the igloo. The blocks are placed tightly together, with no large gaps between them. One important trick is that the first row is cut slightly at an angle, so the wall will naturally curve inward as more layers are added. This is what gives the igloo its famous dome shape. Now the real building begins. The blocks are stacked in an upward spiral, with each layer angling slightly inward. Instead of just stacking blocks in straight rows, builders carve and shape each block so it fits snugly against the others. One of the most impressive things about an igloo is that it doesn't need extra support while being built. Each block helps hold the others in place. The tighter the fit, the stronger the igloo. To prevent cracks, builders also pack loose snow between the blocks. This works like cement, sealing gaps and strengthening the structure. When the walls reach the top, there's still a hole in the roof. This final gap is sealed with a capstone, a specially shaped block that fits into place like the last piece of a puzzle. This is one of the hardest parts of building an igloo. The builder must shape the block exactly right so it locks in place without falling through. Once the capstone is in, the structure is complete and all the blocks are pressing against each other, making the igloo strong. The last step is digging an entrance. Instead of cutting a hole in the side, which would let out heat, builders dig a tunnel leading into the igloo from below. This helps keep warm air inside, since cold air stays lower to the ground. Once the entrance is finished, the igloo is ready for use. Warm, sturdy, and built to last. It might seem unbelievable that an igloo, made entirely of snow, can keep people warm in freezing Arctic temperatures, but the design of an igloo is incredibly smart when it comes to heat and insulation. The secret lies in the properties of snow. Even though snow is cold, it has tiny air pockets trapped inside. These pockets act as insulation, preventing heat from escaping. This is the same reason why winter jackets are filled with fluffy material. Air is a great insulator. Once inside the igloo, body heat, candlelight, or a small oil lamp helps warm up the air. While outside temperatures can drop to -40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower, the inside of an igloo can stay between 19 degrees Fahrenheit to 61 degrees, depending on how many people are inside. That may not sound hot, but it's warm enough to survive comfortably without freezing. Another clever trick: warm air rises, cold air sinks. That's why the igloo's entrance is dug lower than the floor inside. Cold air stays near the ground and doesn't mix as much with the warmer air inside the dome. This design helps keep the inside temperature stable. Even though the igloo is made of snow, it works just like a well-insulated house, proving that Inuit builders had a deep understanding of survival in extreme conditions. The igloo is more than just a shelter. It is a symbol of Inuit culture, tradition, and survival. For centuries, the Inuit people have lived in some of the harshest conditions on Earth, and their ability to build warm, sturdy homes from snow shows their deep understanding of nature. Traditionally, igloos were used as temporary winter shelters for hunters traveling across the Arctic. In some regions, they were also used as family homes, especially in areas where wood or other building materials were scarce. Despite being made of snow, igloos could last for weeks or even months when built properly. Beyond survival, the igloo also played a role in Inuit community life. Families would gather inside to share stories, eat, and rest after long days of hunting. The warm and enclosed space provided a sense of comfort and security. Young Inuit would learn by watching and helping their elders, ensuring that the knowledge of this incredible technique was never lost. Even today, igloo building is considered an important cultural tradition, and some Inuit communities teach the skill to younger generations as a way of preserving their heritage. While modern Inuit communities now live in heated homes, the igloo remains a powerful symbol of resilience and ingenuity, reminding the world of the deep connection the Inuit have with their environment. Even though most Inuit people today live in modern houses, the igloo is still an important part of their culture. Some communities continue to build igloos for traditional ceremonies, educational purposes, and tourism. In fact, learning how to build an igloo is still considered a valuable survival skill in the Arctic. Many adventurers and outdoor survival experts study igloo building as a way to survive in extreme cold without modern gear. Arctic explorers, filmmakers, and even scientists working in remote locations sometimes use igloos as emergency shelters. Their ability to trap heat and block wind makes them more effective than some modern tents in freezing conditions. Igloos have also gained attention worldwide as eco-friendly shelters. Unlike heated buildings, igloos use no fuel or electricity, making them a perfect example of sustainable living. Some cold weather resorts even offer igloo hotels, where visitors can experience spending the night inside a real snow dome. By now, you can see why the igloo is one of the most brilliant structures ever built. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how the Inuit build an igloo in just 2 hours, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more amazing Inuit stories.